wondering how influenced you are by working in Buenos Aires.
Do you want to answer that? Well, we're really pleased to be programmed with Leonardo. That's a friend of us, and he's used to work with the same actors as we work. There's a prestigious actor school in Buenos Aires, and the method is based on truth and being present. And there's a lot of improvisation. It's really difficult to work with that actors, Miel here and Renzo, and to have everything script. So it's not because they're bad with the lines. It's because they work on improvisation, and there's something on the improvisation that transcends the script that we wrote. I guess I don't know what you think about Laila or the actors of Nora Mosenko.
Yeah, I don't know so much. We didn't improvise in our short. It was all written. Yeah, there is I think what he says is there is a type of sense of humor that they share, certain actors, because they study in a certain place. But in the case of the short, they were very different backgrounds from the actors. Laila, which is the blonde girl coming out of the stairs, she's a friend of them.
We're all kind of friends. Our short film was script too, but there's something in the gesture of the actors that it's always not over the top, but it's difficult to manage that. And in a way, we started with a script, but we figured out that it was kind of documentary about the gesture of the actors. We have some scenes in La Novia de Frankenstein in which Renzo doesn't speak English in real life, but there's a work there's a work of with the gestures of the actors that obliges us to be documentalists of the gestures and the situations. In our short film, there's a lot of improvised things, because basically we have an idea at the beginning. We wanted to depict some economic reality of Argentina after the 2001 crisis. Economy started to be more sort of related with esotericism as divination, so we wanted to relate some elements like economy with the divination, the palm reading. And suddenly we start working with the script, and we wanted to share a girl that works in that universe, the economic universe, that it's really virtual and it's really real at the same time. And we worked with scenes that started to contradict themselves, and we work on that. That was the first idea of the short film, and we improvised a lot. That's the comedy. It's about that, the contradictions of that system, no? I don't know if I was clear. My English is not so.
No, it's great. It's great.
Okay, but I don't know if Miel quieres decir algo de la actuación. No. Okay. We didn't wanted to go directly to the comedy, but it appeared. It was good.
Particularly that palm reading scene.
The palm reading scene, yes, was really we worked on improvisation. That it was not script at all. We told one of the actors that she had to read the palm of the lady, and she translated live as live. And it was all we recorded, and we made it in a really freestyle way.
So Miel, heart attack is all you.
I think so. Yeah, it was something from the moment.
And then we repeated, and then we repeated all the scenes. If we shoot all the short film, we shoot 4 times. First on improvisation, and then we repeated. That was the method.
Speaking of actors, Rafael, how easy was it to work with the donkey?
It was fine, actually. Really. That's because I don't know. I didn't really expect too much from the donkey. It was no. It's not a joke. I really did, because I mean all the scenes were written the donkey. It didn't have to do a lot of things. Just he just had to be there, and sometimes he did great things, and other times he didn't do great things. So but that's fine. It didn't really had nothing to do with the story and the storytelling. Yeah.
What about that moment when he takes all the wood out?
That's a little bit like that's improvisation. Yeah.
That's great. I think all of these films pack an emotional punch that's like much longer than like a short film, however long it is, 8 minutes or 20 minutes. I'm curious about everyone's approach to a short film versus something longer.
What was the question? That why do we approach to the short film and not the longer story?
Well, what do you view about a short film as special beyond just it being something maybe as a step to something longer?
I don't really believe that the short film is like a step, like a previous step to a long or feature film. That is like I don't think it that way. I really believe that short films has to be like very short. It's like it's a challenge, and it has to work on a sort of a contraction of the universe, you know. And we work. You want to say something?
She's without voice.
Yeah, she's sick and she's without voice, and I really think that it's a great genre, the short film, and I really think it has to be short, and you have to work with the work on the structure and the repetitions, and it's really complex to create a universe with so little time. But I really love short films, and I think I defend the short film, like it has to be short, you know, and not a step to make a feature film. And it's a great like space to experiment things. You don't have the pressure, like economical pressure, of doing like something that works. You can do whatever you want, and it's really nice.
Yeah, I guess that is about the experimentation. Like, you can push things further in a way. So, the way that Monaco is constructed, I don't know if I doubt it would work over a feature length, but it was kind of taking this formal approach to an extreme. So, not really having any sense of narrative progression, but using this sort of montage of single take everyday moments and treating it sort of more creating a sort of rhythm is something I think works in the short film, and I was able to sort of push that to what I think was as far as it could kind of go, but it wouldn't necessarily work over a longer duration. But you could perhaps take elements of that experimentation and move it into a longer format.
Is the scene in the car where everything's getting, I don't know, it's just really dusty. Is that an everyday moment for you?
Not personally for me, no. Actually, we met, all of the cast we met sort of at different locations that we scouted, and you can only do, they call them donuts in Australia, at two places legally. One's on an airport tarmac and the other's at a raceway, so we didn't want to break the law, so we found this raceway in the outer suburbs of Melbourne, and we just met his two friends who were in that scene. They just worked at the raceway, and they were like, yeah mate, we do donuts out here every day. We'll do it for you, no problem. And so that was their car, and they just took us out. That's at the back of the raceway, this big thing. So I guess it is an everyday reality for them, but not for me. Yeah.
Was it fun being in that car while that was happening?
Well, there was just the three actors and the cinematographer in the car, and I was standing away looking at a screen. But by all accounts, it was quite fun.
It's a very rewarding moment in the movie, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of the most visually interesting, perhaps, moment, especially when it cuts away to the wide, an image which is kind of I was thinking about it just then. Like the characters don't get that. You know what I mean? It's this beauty that's we only see as a viewer, sort of from outside. Yeah.
Yeah. Agos and Francisco, you co-directed that film, and Manuel, I know your co-director couldn't be here, Amira, but how do you guys divide up responsibility?
We didn't divide responsibilities because it was really freestyle. We enjoy it. We didn't have responsibilities because we did it with zero budget, so we didn't have like that pressure. So we felt free to improvise, and we worked together. We studied together at Buenos Aires, and we became friends, like cinephile friends, like going to a film society there in Buenos Aires. And we share like a taste, and we share like a taste in the things that we hate. So it's really easy to work together. So it was. Yes, and she's telling me that it's like a chain of ideas. She's living here in New York, and I'm living in Buenos Aires. So we communicated via Skype, and we have a lot of ideas, lots of ideas, and really bad ones. And then we started to filter the ideas, and now we're working together again. So because we enjoy it, like it was fun. That's really important for us to have fun. It sounds silly, but for me, it's like the most important thing of all.
Manuela?
Well, this short film was part of a program from Cannes, which is called The Factory, and the program is based on making pairs, or is that how you say it? Pairs with someone else that you don't know. So it's like almost like a blind date with someone, another director from other part of the world. And so I met Amira through Skype. And we were supposed to write a script in like a month, and then shoot in 2 weeks. I mean, pre-produce in 2 weeks, then shoot in a week, and then post-produce in a week. That was like the program. And so we met and started talking immediately, and went into a very like deep conversation. We didn't know each other, and it was like very interesting too. And so she came with an idea, and we started developing and putting things together. And then during the shooting, we were just always, we didn't divide the roles. We just were always together and talking.
Any questions from the audience? Okay, that's okay. I have more. One little thing about Maria de Tierra, I noticed that the song isn't, there aren't subtitles for the song. Was that a conscious choice?
It was a conscious choice, but it was very hard to translate this song, because it's like a game, like a kids game or a kids song, where there's just one phrase, which is the sun, the ocean was calm, kind of, and it just repeats that phrase over and over, but changes the vocals. So yeah, you do A, E, and then it's like you never stop singing it, because it. And so it was very hard to translate, because it would have to be like with one vocal, and it was more like the idea of just listening, so that you wouldn't take the attention to the letters, and it would be like very weird to read it.
It's nice. It's a really nice choice, I think. I think we're out of time, but thank you everyone for coming.